What if I told you that your own brain is actively using cognitive illusions to trick you into feeling depressed? We tend to assume that depression requires a massive, life-altering trauma, but often the slide into depression happens through tiny, invisible habits we engage in every day. These are automatic, toxic micro-routines. We run them constantly without noticing, assuming they are just a normal part of life. Every time you repeat one of these routines, you act as the trigger, slowly flipping the brain's shutdown circuit until the lights completely go out. Your perceived reality is heavily filtered. Realizing that your daily thoughts are actually cognitive illusions is the first necessary step to overriding that shutdown circuit. Let's start with how you react when you drop the ball. For many people, making a common mistake triggers an immediate instinctual response to start berating themselves. The conscious mind uses a very specific logic to justify this. It assumes that severe self-punishment is required to create the necessary motivation to improve. This diagram illustrates what actually happens. You start with a mistake and move to self-punishment. We hope it leads to improvement, but self-criticism backfires entirely, leading straight into paralysis. Once paralyzed, you guarantee inaction, making it far more likely you repeat the mistake. Yelling at yourself is not a motivational tool. You are simply responding to emotional pain by causing yourself more pain. The next distortion in the reality field is an entirely subconscious habit, placing moral judgment on your own feelings. It sounds like telling yourself you are weak for experiencing anxiety, or feeling guilty because you feel sad. This chart shows the mechanics of a meta-emotion, experiencing an emotion about an emotion. We start with a normal instance of sadness. But instead of letting it pass, you judge it, piling immense, unnecessary negativity onto perfectly normal feelings. That original emotion was manageable, but under the crushing weight of guilt and shame, it becomes completely impossible to process. Repeating this cycle trains the brain to stay in a state of shutdown, which makes the descent into depression feel almost automatic. Natural feelings are harmless until we weaponize them against ourselves. The solution is remarkably straightforward. Stop apologizing for feeling sad. Then there is the late-night spiral. You lie awake staring at the ceiling, replaying past mistakes, and dwelling on perceived injustices. These events are entirely in the past. You have zero power to change them. So why does the brain refuse to simply let them go? Because of a core illusion. Your brain categorizes this obsessive overthinking as an active, productive attempt at problem solving. Your brain thinks it is doing you a favor by helping you prepare for the future. In reality, dwelling on an unchangeable past solves absolutely nothing. You aren't generating solutions. You are just repeatedly flooding your body with the exact negative emotional chemicals associated with the original memory. Rumination is an anchor designed to keep you completely stuck in the emotions that fuel depression. All of these illusions eventually coalesce into one overarching toxic habit: emotional reasoning. This diagram illustrates the core mechanism of emotional reasoning. It is the false belief that your temporary internal feelings are a perfectly accurate map of objective reality. This leads to massive logical failures. You convince yourself that because you feel lonely today, you are permanently unlovable, or because you feel sad right now, your entire life is pointless. There is a psychological truth that shatters this illusion. Feelings are not facts. Just because your brain generates a spontaneous emotion, it does not mean that emotion represents a permanent truth about the world. Blindly trusting your feelings to tell you the truth about who you are is the ultimate trap of depression. Breaking out of this reality distortion field requires a new protocol. Step 1 is learning to passively notice these thoughts as they arrive, rather than immediately absorbing them. Step 2 is actively challenging them. When the messy cloud of emotion rolls in, demand objective evidence from the world around you, rather than relying on internal emotional validation. Consistently separating your temporary internal weather from objective reality is how mental resilience actually grows. Your brain may constantly try to trick you into a shutdown, but by recognizing these daily illusions, you can intervene in these automatic patterns before they take hold. If recognizing these tricks helped you rewire your thinking today, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into how your mind really works.